All right, guys, today a quick overview of what I have for breakfast, probably most of the time. So I'll show you how I make it and what goes into it. This is going to be the base of the cereal, one of my favorite cereals. And so this is just stuff that I grab: the strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, and of course bananas, apples. These oranges, I love these. Are like mandarins. These are delicious. So that's usually, now I don't eat that much of these because my kids eat it all. So I rarely get to eat as much as I'd like. But these are organic and they do get expensive. So as long as you're eating these, it's good. All right, so I already got the cereal poured inside this Ziploc bag because the bag broke on me. So I just dumped it all in a Ziploc bag. So these just pour it into a bowl like this. And from here, I'm just gonna start, I don't add any of the fresh fruit to it. I do after when I'm gonna eat it, but I don't do it to store it like that. So I make the general cereal, and then from there, I'll add fresh fruit to it. That way I can store it and not have an issue. Now I told you about the flaxseed, the chia seed, and the hemp seed. I don't pour it into the mix because then I think what happens is that they just end up at the bottom all the time. So I always keep a little separate package of this made. We keep this all the time in the house, ready to go. And then I carry with me a little small one that I take to work with me, and then I'll pour it into the cereal right when I'm eating it. Because not, I feel like I'm not getting any that way. It just ends up at the bottom and you don't get to enjoy it. Same thing with these dried fruits. I'll buy these dried fruits. I'm getting these at Costco. Apricots, dates, raisins. These are 3 staple. Now I get as many as I can, whatever dried fruit that they have, and I like to have variety. So the bigger the variety, the better. I was happy about these cherries. The thing that bothered me about these things, additional sugar is 13 grams of sugar. 13 grams of additional sugar in dried fruit. You don't need to add sugar to dried fruit. What I like about these dates, if you look at the dates, it says 0 grams of additional sugar. So that's it. Just give me the dried fruit. Don't add additional sugar to it. I don't have a problem with sugar. Again, 0 grams of additional sugar. So so far these two are fantastic. And then of course we look at the raisins and it's got 0 grams of additional sugar, and these are all organic. So just pay attention to that. When you're buying the dried fruit, make sure that they're not adding, we don't need additional sugar. Nice cutting board. So what I do is I cut all the dried fruit into smaller pieces. Raisins are good, they're great. You just add them, you don't gotta worry about it. And these are the dates. So again, I'm just cutting them into nice small sizes. That way when I have them in my cereal, you know, it's just like a nice bite size. It's not this gigantic date that I'm trying to chew down, you know. So I like to cut them in small pieces. Some people say, well, why don't you buy them cut? The least processing that I can have on my food, the better off I think the food is. And that includes cutting, chopping. So I just feel that the food, the closer it is in its natural state, that's the way you want to buy it. And then you do whatever you want to do to it at that point. And then what you don't want to do is take it and fry it, obviously, and just keep it in its most nutritious, bioavailable state. And of course, you're going to get arguments for that on which, sometimes you got to cook it, sometimes you got to steam it, sometimes you got to eat it raw, depending on the food. So now the good thing about it, since there's no rules here, remember, we're just trying to make the healthiest cereal that we can, or food. Right, it just happens to be a cereal. There's also my snack food. And of course people go, oh, don't you get bored? Well, you can make this in all kind of different ways. There's things that you can add, changes the flavor. You're not stuck having to use the Ezekiel cereal, but you are looking for a cereal. This is a sprouted grains, it's flourless, which is critical. You don't, any cereal that to me is using flour as its base is out the door. Not even a consideration. ¿Qué pasó? You want to tell everybody why you're crying? I don't know. We don't even know why you're crying. You're not feeling too good, probably? Who knows? These things are fantastic because they come individually wrapped, so the seeds don't end up at the bottom of the entire package. They call this a salad topper, but it's great because it's got sunflower seeds, it's got the pumpkin seeds, it's got cranberries in there. Add a healthy amount of this in there. This is what it's looking like. So we'll add like 2 of each. So we're adding 6 packages to the mix. And of course, since they're individually wrapped, and I usually carry a couple extra with me, if I feel there's not enough nuts or cranberries or something in there, then I'll just open up an individual package and throw it right into the bowl. But the whole idea is to have it ready to go so I don't have to do any more work. Yeah, because trying to do this every day would be a tremendous pain. And nutritious. See, this is a wide variety of different foods. So that's kind of what I focus on as much as possible. Okay, so there you go. We got 6 packages in there. Okay, and there's no real formula here. You're making it to taste. You're making it whatever you think. As I'm looking in here, I'm happy with the cranberries. The only thing I think I could use a little bit more of is some apricots. We'll cut up some more apricots in here. I love the apricots in there. And I do the same thing. The same thing happens with the dates, because you gotta quarter the dates, or at least cut them in thirds. And like I told you earlier, this is my go-to breakfast meal. Even if I just have a little bit of this and I stick mostly to the fresh fruits because that's what I feel like that day, or I'm a little bit bored of this because I've been eating a lot of it lately, whatever. During the day, you want a snack. I mean, I could go for, just grab one of these and eat this, or I go for the cereal here, which has not only that in it, but everything else. Okay, so there it is, quartered. Again, some more. Okay, so that's what it looks like now. And there you go, you see? And then just mix it up there. Very happy with the way it looks. Oddly enough, the only time that I really complain is when I don't have enough Ezekiel cereal and it's actually too much fruit and too many of the other things. So I've added more. Okay, so now the cleanup, and let's eat some breakfast. All right, now I finally get to eat. This has got to be one of the biggest organic strawberries. So you hear the kids in the background. We're not filming this in a studio. This is right here live as it's happening. Remember I was telling you about the chia seed, the flax seed, and the hemp seed? Well, this is the little one. This is the little one I carry around with me. So I'm gonna refill it and then add it to my cereal. So 2 spoonfuls in there. That's probably gonna be about 5 to 8 grams of protein right there. Hemp seed is an excellent source of protein. But the chia seed too, they're about half. Hemp seed gives you about 10 grams. Flaxseed gives you about 2, and then chia seeds give you about 5 grams of protein per 3 tablespoons. Again, I never worry about those things. I just feel like if you're paying attention to what you're eating, you'll make sure that you get enough of those nutrients that are necessary for optimum health. This is a full bowl. And then of course with my fruits, so we got apples, strawberry, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries. Again, big variety is gonna equal good health. Plant-based, organic. There you go, guys.